Hello, my sweet friend. It's Christina, and welcome to a new episode of the Art Cake Coach podcast. Hello, my sweet friend. I am Christina Revalo, cake decorator, coach, and teacher, and I am here to empower my fellow cake artists to be creative and to work together as a tight cake community by providing information and opportunities for all, regardless of their level of expertise and knowledge. If you are a cake artist, cake decorator, baker, or cake enthusiast and want to be coached for success, this podcast is for you. Let me help you set achievable goals, understand that managing your time, having a positive mindset, understanding your customer, selling, using social media for your cake business, and knowing how to teach your craft are all as important as flour, sugar, and eggs. Let me share with you what has worked for me, all from a very personal and down-to-earth perspective. I want for you to put your name out there, not to be stressed with time and working hours, and to participate in cake collaborations and competitions, so one day you will be that cake artist featured in a cake magazine or teaching at international events, just like me. Welcome to the Art Cake Coach podcast. Before we start this episode, my dear sweet friends, I'm here just to tell you a little bit about what's going on in the Art Cake Coach podcast world. The Art Cake Coach podcast subscription episodes are already out, and this month is going to be 4 episodes about goal setting, audio class that you can enjoy and that you can work with and that you can practice to set achievable goals as cake artist. And they will be available from today here in the Art Cake Coach podcast on Spotify and Anchor. Also, because this is a pre-recorded episode and we're not going to have any breaks in between, I want to thank Saracino and their great online magazine, We Love Pastry, for sponsoring today's episode. We Love Pastry is a monthly magazine where you can find tutorials, information, competitions, giveaways, many things that are relevant to the cake world, and not only so, but the descriptions of all their amazing products. So thank you, Sergino. Thank you, We Love Pastry, for sponsoring today's episode. And don't forget to go and check out the subscription episode for the Art Cake Coach podcast. Is only $2.99 a month. And with that, you can have access to all the 4 this month, to all the 4 audio classes about goal setting, achievable goals for cake artists. I cannot wait to see you there and see you achieve your goals in 2024. Well, hello, my sweet friends. Welcome to another episode of the Art Cake Coach podcast. Christina here. And today I have a very special guest with us. Somebody that I was trying to get to the show for a while now. And I'm so happy that she's here today. We're going to talk to Melanie Underwood. I mean, she's the mastermind behind Cake International. So we need to talk to her. Of course, the podcast being a podcast about time management and organization. I think she's like the queen of organization and events on this cake world. She's like, she's like, oh my God, what is Christina saying? But yes, I think you are. I think you are. So welcome, Melanie.
Christina, thank you, thank you very much for that lovely introduction. Thank you for asking me as well. I'm sorry it's taken me quite a while, hasn't it, to come on this podcast, but eventually here anyway. So thank you.
Yeah, it's great. It's for me, it's like my Christmas gift to have you here in the podcast before the year ends, definitely. And everything is in the right time. I believe in that. So you're
Yeah,
here today because it was today that you had to be here.
absolutely.
Definitely. How are you today, Melanie?
Yeah, really good. It's actually my last day in work, so I'm going on holiday next week. So yeah,
Mhm.
it's all good. So
Oh,
yeah,
great. A
back
nice
in
holiday
the new year.
before Christmas, right?
Yeah, but a holiday before Christmas and before I start to climb that very big mountain of starting to organise next year's show. So yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this is sort of we always we joke in our family because we finish one event in family things, like birthdays and stuff. Especially my youngest daughter, and she's already thinking about next year. And we joke with her, it's like you're the Brazilians when they finish Carnival, they already start planning for next year.
That's
Is
right.
Cake International like that? As soon
It
as you're
is.
done, you start
Yeah.
planning for next year.
Yes, yes. So I mean, immediately after the show, we have a what we call a wash up meeting with the company ICHF who organise the show. So marketing will be there, and admin, and myself, and logistics, and the MD as well. So and we'll run through the problems that we had and how we can improve, and I'll get feedback from the competitions group on Facebook, and other people will email in with their complaints or their congratulations of what things that we did right. So it's a wash up meeting. So it's as it says, seeing what we can do for next year and how we can improve on what we
Yeah,
did this year.
and that
Which
happens right away after you finish the
right
show.
away because it's still
Everything
fresh.
has to be fresh. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. If we did it in 6 months, in the summertime, we wouldn't remember any of it. Well,
You'll
we would
probably
remember
forget. It's like, what was happening I don't remember.
it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yes, we do that immediately after the show, and then I then start to answer the emails, mainly to do with the competition, and then David and I will be liaising, and then liaising with the judges, and so there's a lot of toing and froing with that, obviously. And then I
Hmm.
contact the exhibitors to see who wants to book in again for next year. And now I'm at the stage now where I'm obviously it's my last day today, so I'm having a couple of weeks off.
Oh, that's good. That's good. You need to rest, definitely, to be at your best, to face everything that has to that is coming next year for sure.
Next
And
year,
next year we have a
yeah,
very big celebration. It's the 30th
it,
anniversary
it
of Cake
is.
International, right?
That's right.
Wow.
I started when I was 30 years old. So next year it's 30 years old for the show. So you can work
Wow.
out how old I will be next October. But
Well,
yeah,
you don't look like that.
well,
You don't look like that age anyway.
a lot of work.
That's what's important, right? That's what's important. Wow, that's amazing. 30 years of Cake International.
30 years of the
Um,
show. Yeah.
I mean, as I mentioned before, I heard you and David talk in another podcast interview
Mm,
about when it started and how it started, how smaller it was compared to
yeah.
nowadays.
Mhm.
Um, as of course, I'm not going to ask you that again because you can
Yeah.
listen to that episode. I'm going to be leaving the links here of that episode, so our listeners can
Oh,
listen to that as well. But thinking of you, because this podcast I like to focus more, and that's what I wanted to hear. I love to focus on the time management, the organization, and especially the mindset behind everything that we do as cake artists. We overlook that part
yes.
as cake artists, how organized we need to be, the mindset that we need to have, how much we should take care of our time,
Mm,
and to balance everything, right? So, if you can sum up how much you have grown in these 30 years of Cake International, how much you have learned in this 30 years, how Cake International has changed you as a person,
right.
how could you, what can you say about that?
Well, start with the show. It started in one small hall at the NEC. I can't remember the hall. I've got the number 9 in my head, but I could be wrong. Anyway, it started
Okay.
with a small hall at the NEC, and now we're in two big halls at the NEC. So we span two halls, halls 17 and 18. So it's well, it's doubled in size.
Yeah.
And how has it changed? Gosh, the first show, it's well, we didn't have the sculpting, we didn't have the like we do now. And I'm not talking about the large scale features because we didn't have those obviously at the show, but
Yeah.
we didn't have the sculpting with the busts, and we didn't have anything like that. And I think I mentioned to David on the previous podcast, I said to him, do you remember all the hoo-ha that started when we had tiered cakes, and that caused an absolute that you know how you get all these, dramas in the cake world. We've had
Yeah.
Bustercake
Oh, yeah, yeah. There
and
could be many.
yeah,
Yes.
so it was a Teargate in the cake world because everybody was really, some of them were more traditional artists were quite, aghast at the
Okay.
fact that they were stacking cakes on top of each other rather than putting them on separate stands, like in fact, I think those that
It
fashion
used to be like that. I remember it used to be, I
yeah,
mean, the
yeah,
tables at a wedding, it used to be separate
that's right.
cakes, different
Yeah.
levels. Yes,
It looks
yes.
lovely like that. I do like it like that. But the tiered cakes
Yeah.
came in and everybody was I remember actually Rhiannon Webb, she was one of the ones that was doing them quite a bit. And I think she started I probably people would be screaming at me saying, no, you've got this all wrong. But I do remember her work in particular, Dragons and Daffodils with her lovely tiered cakes. And then we had, just showing how much the industry has changed, we had the introduction of moulds. So there weren't any moulds before,
Oh,
um,
okay.
and this must have been so the show started in 1994, maybe about 5 or 6 years after that. This lady called Joan, Mooney, I think it was. Again, I could be wrong, but she introduced. I think she introduced anyway these molds. Oh God, there was that was quite a storm. You know,
Of
everybody thought
course.
it would be the demise of the cake world. The fact that you had these molds that where you weren't actually doing the work yourself and
By
all the rest.
hand, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. But
Wow.
obviously, look where we are now. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, if you think of a show in a very small hall with no sculpting pieces on the competition tables, cakes which were invariably separate, the wedding cakes, they weren't stacked. It was vastly different. And then
So
cupcakes
different.
came in the 1990s. Cupcakes, the cupcake boom, which I think started in America, didn't it? And then came over
Yeah.
here. So we had cupcakes in the competition. So it's just changed massively,
And
hugely.
it's funny because I've only been to Cake International twice. I've followed Cake International online for a while. Um, and every year you think, oh, this is like it cannot get better than this. It cannot be bigger than this. It cannot, or you see artists that create these wonderful pieces and you're like, okay, this is it. This is the best this person can do. It cannot get better than this. And then the next year comes and it gets bigger and better than this. And you're like, oh my God. I mean, it's as much, there's so much creativity and there's so much room for growing and for improving that I can only imagine what it was 30 years ago and to compared to what it is today.
Yeah.
And Melanie facing a cake show 30 years ago
Mm.
with Melanie facing a cake, this Cake International this year. What is the difference?
Well, the difference was 30 years ago because I used to work on the show with my mother. So
Mhm,
my mother and myself were selling the trade stands, and a lady called Sheila Lampkin was organising the competition. So I didn't do that side of it like I am now.
mhm.
That was the difference. I'm a salesperson, so I was doing the selling of the trade stands. So moving forward 30 years, I'm doing the whole thing myself now. So I do, which is why I need a year. Why I need mentally why I need a year to
Of
do it.
course.
So
Of
it's all the
course.
demonstrations, all the features. I don't do the admin for the competition. We do have an admin team, but I'll oversee as much as I can anyway. A lot of what they do. So,
Yeah.
and obviously organising of the judges with David and the competition schedule, going over that with David because a lot of it is about the written English as opposed to the technical side. So, yeah, so it's yeah, so that's the difference.
Yeah,
I want
you have to overlook everything, even though you
more
do
eyes.
delegate, you do have people that
Oh,
teams and
absolutely.
help you. And having David next to you, I mean, that's priceless, right?
Yeah,
As a head judge, I have
yeah,
so much respect for him. I never had the chance because it's funny. I never had the chance to meet him in person at the competition,
yeah,
only online. But he's always commenting everything online, and he's so nice online
yeah.
that is it's I guess it's just perfect to have him around in the as a head judge of the
Yeah,
competition.
yeah, yeah.
Talking about the competition and talking about the show, I don't know if the listeners know this, but we are trying to manage this interview. I don't know, since the beginning of the year, since I don't know,
We
March,
have,
something like that. Yeah,
I
it's
know,
been a while now. But then the summer came, and then something else came, whatever. And of course, closer to the competition, Melanie is very busy. She wasn't able to be here. Uh, but it's great because now we have the result of this year. I want to ask you,
to look back.
uh,
Yeah.
through your eyes and your point of view, how was the show this year? Because for me, it was awesome. But I just want to know from your perspective, how
Well,
was it?
I thought talking about the features, I thought the features were like you. I think this year, I think, right, what on earth are we going to do next year? Because this year we had King Charles, which really did look like King Charles, which obviously
Absolutely.
was
I'm
the whole
in.
feature, but my God, he looked like him, didn't it?
Yeah.
Um, and then we had Ozzy Osbourne, which was fantastic in the entrance by Jane Lashbrook. And then we had the incredible Sugar Screams, which I actually couldn't walk around because I went in it and then I walked back out again, and I start. In fact, I can feel myself starting to get upset now. And Karina said to me, "Oh, you don't like it, do you?" She said, "You hate it," and I said, "No." I love it. I said, "And I can't go back in." She said, "God, you're crying." She said, I've known you for 7, 8 years. I've never seen you cry." And I said, she said, "Can I take a picture of you?" I said, "No, of course you can't take a picture of me." It
Not
was
crying.
the effort that everybody had done, I thought was absolutely incredible. Look at me,
It was.
all the life-size pieces, and I just thought it was so what on earth, like you say, what on earth do we do next year? Well, yeah,
But I'm
got
sure there will be, yeah, I'm sure there will be something else. And we're
oh,
going to be like,
yeah.
oh, no, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we've already
Yeah.
started planning one, which is going to be very exciting. So I've already started to do that. So yeah,
Good.
yeah,
I was
we
going to
always.
ask you, can you share with us any surprises for the 30th year
I
anniversary or not yet?
can't, no, I can't. But like you say, 30 years, so we will have lots of special surprises,
Of
lots
course.
of different things. Yeah, because you got to
Oh,
keep moving.
great. Yeah, definitely. And it's a milestone to celebrate.
Yes,
Definitely. Definitely.
it is.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you changed my mind because this year I thought I was going to give it a break. So, but I think no, I think I'm going again next year. Definitely. If it's the 30th year anniversary, I have to be there for
No,
sure. For
no,
sure.
can't
Oh,
do that.
that's so good. Tell me something. Through organizing everything and
Mhm.
keeping up with your own life, how what is the secret for your time management and your organization? How is
I
that
think
you prioritize everything?
I do everything. So at the moment, I want to get the features done and dusted, planned and booked, shall I say, by really the end of February. So once it gets to March, April, it's getting a bit late. You know, for the artists I'm talking about,
Mhm,
not just
mhm,
for us. So I do that, and then we've got the competition schedule, which will get out next year rather, by the end of January. So we're busy. We've been busy doing that.
yeah,
Um, and then after that, I'll be working on the workshops, planning the artists who I want at the show to do workshops, and then I move on to the demonstrations. So it all, and obviously in between that, I'm booking the trade stands as well, securing
mhm.
sponsorship for the show as well. Which obviously without that, it's very difficult. You need the money, unfortunately. So I'm doing all of those things as well.
Of
So I
course.
go in stages, but the problem with my brain is that lots of people message me on Facebook and say I'm working in January, I'll be working on sponsorship and the competition. Then somebody will say, "Oh, Melanie, I'd like to do a workshop." And I'm thinking, "Oh, yeah, I want to have you, but I can't cope with talking to you at the moment. So can you get back to me? You know, in fact, that's how I do it. I do it
Yeah.
in strict,
Okay. So it's like you block your priorities. Like right now, I'm working on
yeah,
this,
yeah,
and this is
yeah,
the only attention I'm going to get to this, and that's
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not very good at right. If I move on to workshops, then I've forgotten about so I have deadlines. So I think the answer to your question is I have deadlines by when
Perfect.
I have to finish each item, and I go in sequence, and that seems to work okay.
Oh, great, great. Yeah. And is it easy for you? Because that's one of the things that I usually talk to to the listeners of the podcast, to the people to the cake artists that I coach, and to the ones in my group, is to really know when to stop. To really know is like, okay, my day is over.
Yeah.
This is it, and it's now my family time, my me
Yeah.
time, and I really. Is it easy for you to?
No.
Because I'm a workaholic. It's funny. I preach this, but I'm a terrible workaholic, and I have to force
Terrible.
myself to stop.
Yeah.
So,
No,
how does that work for you?
it doesn't.
Okay. I was hoping you're going to give me like a magic answer, like, no, Christina, this is what you should do.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I don't feel that bad now.
Right, no, and I think, unfortunately, it was easier, going back, what, 20 years. Like, you could just walk out the office, but now, of course, you've got your phone, and it follows you everywhere, doesn't it? And people
Hmm.
message you on Facebook, and if you haven't replied within a few hours, you can see that message, and you think, "I'm gonna have to reply, otherwise it looks really rude." So
Yeah.
I don't actually. I'll message people in the evening, because that's when a lot of the cake artists might be available in the evening, so I have to
Yeah.
adapt
Yeah.
their timetable as well. So, no, I'm terrible. It drives my husband round the bend. I think
Okay. Well, I love that you're so honest about it, because
yeah,
you could have given me, this fancy answer, but no, it's good. It's good. So see, everyone, if you're listening over there, it's not just you, it's not just me. I mean, this happened to all of us. It
breaks
is
a lot
hard. It
of
is hard. We
links.
have to force ourselves
We do,
to stop. Definitely.
yes,
Definitely.
definitely. I think if
Yeah.
I was looking back on my life, things I would do differently is most definitely to take a break, because have sat for so long at my office that I do have a problem with the back of my neck.
Yeah.
Um, and my nerves, as in nerves in my hands, which has caused, a problem with my position of sitting at my desk.
Yeah.
So, I
Yeah.
think looking back on my life, and you've got to move away from the computer as well, because it's not healthy sitting. But I
It
don't
is
do
not.
anything. But that's me, that's me looking back with
Yeah.
hindsight. So,
Well, you
yeah,
still have time. I mean, you still have time to change a little bit, to take little breaks, and
you
now
do.
that you know that this is happening,
Yeah.
that's for me it was the same. It was a lower back problem because of
Oh,
sitting too
really?
many hours in the computer,
Oh,
and
right.
to the
Interesting.
point that I said, well, that's it. I know I have to take breaks. I have to walk
Oh,
around while I'm not teaching or while I'm not coaching or doing anything on the computer. Take my dog out 10
yeah.
minutes, but just to
Move.
and for my head, definitely for my head
So
to
you've
cut
got.
with the work.
So you have
Yeah.
a lower back problem, do you, from
Oh
sitting?
yeah, I've been all this year has been
Oh,
crazy with my lower back, to the point that I couldn't even either sit or stand. It was just laying down. That's the only thing I could.
right.
But thank goodness it's fine now. But
Okay, now.
that's when you realize that you need to stop. At some point, you need to stop.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
When your body says, "It's like, wait a minute, this is not good for me."
no,
But
isn't.
hopefully, for our listeners, they don't have to get to this point to realize that they need to stop, because it's not fun.
Yeah, you
It's
just need
definitely not fun.
to move around, like all
Yeah.
voice tells you. You just need to get up and, so I try to do maybe, an hour in front of the computer, which is probably still too long, and I'll get up and move around, whereas
Oh, that's
previously
good.
I'd be sitting there for about 3 hours in front of the
Yeah.
computer, and I'm hunched over it, and you think,
Yeah.
"Right, okay, that's why I've got a bad neck." So, yeah, it's
Yeah. And that
but
happens a lot to a lot of cake artists, because we're working like this, and our back is bent as well. So
yes,
yeah,
yes,
it's
yeah,
good. So listeners, if you're over there, just take care
don't
of
do
yourself and
it.
take breaks.
Yeah,
It's
do any of it.
important. It's important.
And
Melanie, so Cake International is your job,
yeah,
right? You
yeah.
don't do anything else besides that.
No, no, I do actually. I do. Well, I used to have a B&B, so I used to run a B&B as well. But we sold
Okay.
that last year, which was nice. And we also started up last year. We started a company called Sweet Gen Media, which is influencer marketing agency. So
Oh,
three of us involved with that, and so we have cake artists on our books, and we will help them with influencer marketing, or if they have any inquiries for any work, we will negotiate for them and So that's, yeah, so I
Oh,
do
that's
do that
awesome.
as
That's
well.
great. Great news. You should
Yeah.
leave me the links of that so I can share it here in the
Okay.
podcast. That is
Yeah.
great. That is great. One of the things I talk a lot about here in the podcast is managing social media, but of course,
Mm.
managing to the point of what you can do yourself as a cake artist to at least be on social media. But I always say, if you can find help,
Yeah.
go for help. Definitely, if you can afford it, do it,
Yeah.
because it's the best way. It's one less headache that you have hit your head. Definitely. So we will find the links for that project, and we will leave it here in the episode. So if
Okay.
the
Thank you.
listeners are interested, that will be great. Yes, of course. I have a question for you. Now we have Cake International and Bake International, right?
Do, yeah.
Both of them. Bake International, how old is it? How
Well,
long
that's a
it's been
good
running?
question. I think now you're asking me. I think it's the second show that we
Oh,
did. This
okay.
is the second one.
Oh,
So,
okay.
the idea was obviously to expand the show to a slightly different market. I mean, obviously, a
Mhm.
lot of people do bake, but there is a proportion of cake artists that don't bake, that they're just doing the sculpting and all the rest of it. So I wanted to reach out more to the bakers. I
Yeah.
really wanted a competition, a bake competition. So, and I wanted the bake theatre as well. So we did that. So we launched that 2 years ago, and this year our bake competition, it doubled with the entries. I'm not
Yeah.
talking about a huge amount, but bearing in mind these people have to actually bake the cakes not that long before the competition. It's
Yep.
quite hard for them. So we had, I can't remember how many. I think we had about 140 entries in the one this year. It was literally double the amount from what we'd had the
Yeah,
previous
I
year.
remembered last because I remember last year, since it was the first time I went to Cake International. I thought Bake International had more time before that, but it was. I mean, it was there, but it wasn't as big. But this year,
No,
I noticed when I entered the room, I was like, "Whoa, this is
it's
it's
getting
bigger.
bigger.
It's bigger
Yeah,
than last year." I love to look at the case, and it's because it's a different perspective. I love baking as well,
mm,
and I think it's great that the bakers or the baking has this this window, this international window,
yeah,
for the things they do. And I was looking at it, I was like, "Ooh, I would love to be a judge in this one." It's like those cakes look good. So yeah, it was lovely to see so many baking goods there
yes,
this year,
yes, it was, and then you
definitely.
to taste them all as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, and it's quite tough actually for them, I think, because if you're
Yeah.
tasting over 100 cakes, that sounds wonderful, but it's
Yeah, I was
yeah,
talking to Miriam. Miriam won Best in Show
really
for Bake International. I'm so happy
is,
for her. She's
yeah,
lovely. And I told her the same. Oh, I want to be a judge. She's like, I don't know if you want to. After the fourth cake, nothing tastes the same. It's
yeah,
like, yeah, well, that's true. That's
yeah.
true. Definitely true. Do you have a favorite between Cake International and Bake International?
I'm do I have a favourite? What, with which show? Oh, I
Which
love
show?
I love
Both.
them both. And
Okay.
both, I
Okay.
am very excited about Bake International because
Okay.
it gives the opportunity to try something a bit different, to approach different companies to be at the show as well. So we
Hmm.
have Nielsen Massey sponsoring the theatre this year, and
Yeah.
and discussions with them for next year. So fingers crossed they join us next year. And it just gives a different scope, and like you say, the competition attracts different people, and it's
Yeah.
lovely having those people come into the office and say they love that side of it, the baking side, and the
Yeah.
demonstrations that we can have. Yeah, it's but I love Cake International, so I couldn't say I have a favourite at all. I mean,
No, those are your babies.
well, this is it. I'm the idiot who walks into Sugar Screams and starts crying, so I can't.
No, I mean, I no, I mean, Sugar Scream was amazing. I mean, last year with the Haunted House was great.
It was,
This year, I was really like my jaw was always like because
wasn't it?
everything was life size. Everything was like,
I know,
and it was flawless. It was
I know. It
perfect. It was so
was,
good, so good,
it
so good.
was,
Yeah.
it
I
was.
agree with you. I didn't cry, but I agree with you. It was amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing. But I understand you because for me, my projects are like my children too. They're not my babies. So
Yeah,
I do get emotional thinking about, things that happens in the projects or in the cakes, or
yeah,
on the community, and cake friends are here too. So yeah, I get you.
big
those
thing
are those
for
are
them.
our babies,
Yeah.
definitely. There's also, because I was well, I've been trying to get to the Cake Academy, but every time I was
Oh,
like, oh, let me see the date, and the date is busy somehow this year. For there is one in February, right?
wow, that'd
With
be great if you could join us.
Emma and Gary. I mean,
Yeah,
I those are, when you have like a cake uh celebrity, I don't know,
exactly.
crush, I guess, I don't know what it is. I mean, those are the two that I'm like, okay, I will go anywhere for those two. And but I don't know if I could make it this year, this February. Is there another one this year? Is there going
No,
to be
not
another one
this
this year?
year. No,
No.
no, no, you're trying to kill me. Yeah, the following year. Yeah, we'll do one, 2025. Yeah, no,
2020.
Gary and Emma are absolutely brilliant. I mean, Emma, as you know, her work is incredible, but Gary, I mean, Emma is in awe of Gary, and I'm pretty sure that Gary's in awe of Emma, so that they both love each other, but it's just
Yeah.
his work. I mean, he is, s- the way he teaches as well. He is an artist, as is Emma, but coming in
Hmm.
from the art world, from the sculpting
Yeah.
world, he
Yeah.
brings in a perspective which yeah, I'm thrilled that he comes to the show. I don't know why he comes to the show, but I'm thrilled that he comes to
But
the
it's
show
great.
for us.
It's great. I really want to have him here in the podcast one day, and because also I'm like, I mean, I'm in awe with both of them. But Gary
He would just
Pollan, when
do
I
it.
found out who Gary Pollan was,
I
and
know.
I'm a geek, so all of the movies he's been part of,
Oh,
all of the stories he's been part of, I've been
yeah,
watching all of those amazing creations since, I don't know, since I was a teenager. So it's like, those hands made those things. It's like, wow, I
yeah,
cannot believe it. So yeah, he's amazing. He's amazing.
he
And
he is,
also
and he
heard he's a great teacher. Yeah.
he is, and he would be great to have on this podcast. But
I will. I will have everyone here I mean, if they can. I would love to have them all here. Emma was supposed to be here today. She couldn't make it,
no,
and actually, one of the things that I wanted to ask her, I'm gonna leave the question here for when she comes, is what is easier, because she's coming from an artist, an artist background, right? As
yes,
Gary is, and as many of the cake artists
too.
in the cake world are. So
Interesting.
I don't know, what I always wonder, what is easier? Is it to teach a baker to be an artist, or to teach an artist to bake? I mean,
Wow. Yeah, we'll
which
leave that
one?
one.
I always wonder that one. So this question will be in the air for next time when Emma is here.
And she's
Now tell
having.
me something, Melanie, because we talked about the beginning of Cake International. You said you started with your mom. Uh, I find this absolutely adorable that you started with your mom working on that. 30 years later,
Yeah.
I mean, where did the idea of making a show came from? It's like, how
Um,
did that happen?
it started with the cake magazine. So it was my next door neighbour, Enid,
Hmm.
who's no longer with us, unfortunately. But she used to teach sugarcraft for
Hmm.
the local. I don't know whether it was the local British Sugarcraft Guild, but anyway, she used to teach sugarcraft. And she said to me one day, so I worked for my mother's company. She was a director of a publishing company, and we used to publish craft magazines, cross stitch and embroidery and things like that. So Enid came to me and said that we need to start a cake decorating magazine, because at that time there was only the British Sugarcraft Guild magazine. There wasn't anything else. So we started the magazine. I think we started it in, was it April? Oh God, I think it was April. I've got the first one here somewhere. But we started it in April, and then about either 2 weeks before or 2 weeks after, Squire's magazine popped up. So we were all, both of us, thinking the same thing. And then we also, for the publishing company, we also used to do knitting and sewing shows. So obviously, it was a natural thing for us to progress into a
Okay,
cake show. So that's how it started. Just
that's
natural
how
progression.
it's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's thank goodness it started, because look where it is right now,
No.
and 30 years later. And I mean, there's people from all over the world. This is like the event of the year for the cake
Yeah,
world. Everybody, I mean, so many travelers from all over the world. People that's just to put their work on that table means the
yeah.
world to them. Yeah. Talking about the competition part, how was the competition this year? Was
Yeah,
it
we had 900 and something entries. So the previous year, I think we had, I could be wrong with these figures. I think it was about 700. So we put on an extra couple of hundred, which was good.
mhm, great.
Um, but 2019, we had 1,800 entries in 2019,
Wow.
but that
But the
was
COVID happened. Yeah.
Oh, yes, COVID happened, but looking back on that competition,
Mhm.
I'm not sure that we would ever want to go up to that figure again because
Oh,
it
okay.
it was it we did it. I
Mhm.
think David had about 40 judges, but it was just such hard really, really, really hard
It was
work.
too much.
So,
Okay.
but I'm not saying we wouldn't, but I'm not saying we wouldn't do it up to that figure, but what I'm saying is I'm not sure we would want to, but we might have to. But
Exactly, exactly.
and yeah, how was the competition? Yeah, it was good. It had its admin errors, which were very disappointing. But as I said in that wash up meeting, we've devised a new system which ought to, fingers crossed and touch wood, which ought to work and eliminate the problems that we had this year, because I can't
Oh,
say that
great.
we didn't have problems, because we did, and a lot of it was unfortunately the administration. So yeah, hopefully next year we've got a new system in place and there won't be those problems next year.
Oh, great.
Mm.
Great, great. But I mean, there are always going to be problems. There's always going to be people who's not satisfied. I mean,
Yes, there will be
that's what
that as
happened
well.
when you deal with people.
Yes,
But I think I found it great that you sit down, you say, okay, this worked, this didn't work. Let's just
got
move on
to.
and just try it again and see.
You'd never
Yeah,
improve, would you? If you don't
yeah,
admit to the things that you've done wrong and the mistakes that you've made, and I'm talking about that in all life. Everybody makes mistakes,
yeah.
unfortunately, but that they're things that you can then improve on and rectify and move forward.
Hmm.
But I'm not saying, like you say, we will still always have mistakes in the competition because, as I said to you before we came on air, it's a pop-up event and things do go wrong in pop-up events, but not they won't be to the volume that we had this year.
Okay.
I'm quite confident that that will be eliminated. And the other thing that we're doing is that we've had quite a bit of feedback from the competition group on Facebook, and we
Hmm.
are going to simplify the schedule because it's become too over explained. Too
Okay.
We're putting too much information in, and I think we were trying to do that to try and make it clearer for the cake artist, but I think in the process we've made it more complicated. So we're going to take out a lot of the information and make it far simpler for the artist.
Okay.
We'll
Okay.
probably all gonna say it's too simple, we want it back, but
Of
we want to
course.
strike a happy medium. I'm not saying we'll totally simplify it, but we're making it clearer
That's
and
what
more
you're working on. Yeah.
simple to
Good,
understand.
good.
Yeah.
Any new categories for this year?
Yes, yes, we'll have new
Okay.
categories. Anyone
Okay,
who's got
good.
any suggestions, just email me. Always want suggestions and help with any ideas for any categories. Is
Oh,
always
that's
brilliant.
great. That's great.
Yeah,
So if you're listening and you would like a different
yeah,
category include, just you can send an email to Melanie.
please, yes,
We
please.
can
The
leave
fruit,
also the information here. That'll be great. That'll be
yeah,
great.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would be good
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, any subjects that anyone wants to see, because the horror one that
Oh,
we
that was
recently.
amazing.
Everyone loved it, but that was from a suggestion from an artist. I can't remember who it was, but that wasn't our idea. That was a suggestion that we picked up on for the wild
Ah,
card. So if anyone else has got any suggestions for a wild card, because I don't think we'll do horror again in November because we've done it twice, so we'll do something
okay.
different.
Something
Mm.
different. Oh, that's great. That's great. So you listen, you can make your suggestions. I don't
Yeah,
have any. I'm okay with what you have, and
you're okay, are you?
I'm still thinking about it, participating or not. I mean, it's funny. I have this weird relationship with competing,
Yeah.
and for in one hand, I'm not good at it. It's like I don't feel. It's like it's not my thing. There's people who love competing. They live for it, and they
Mm.
want to compete as many characters. For me, it's like, well, I have to pay for the ticket, so I guess I'll put something on the table, which I
Yeah.
don't like because I don't feel like I'm putting me on the table. I don't know. It's a weird relationship with that.
Oh,
But and when it finished the competition last year and this year, I said the same. I'm not competing again. I'm not doing it.
everyone's
I will do demos. I will do other things, but I'm not competing. And then as the month go by, it's like, well, maybe I will compete again. I know, no. And then Miriam usually calls me, is like, come on, you need to compete. Come on, just do it. It's like, well, okay, I'll do it. So it's usually goes
Miriam.
like that. So we'll see. We'll see what
Oh,
happens this year if I'm competing or not. But it's, I mean, it's always a roller coaster of emotions. But at the end, it's great. It's always
yes.
great. So yeah,
It is, and
definitely.
it's wonderful. I love, in the morning well, we made the time a bit later actually, because it used to be 6:30 in the morning. This time it was 7, which, excuse me, gave us a little bit of a lie-in. But, I love to see all the artists coming in and carrying their exhibits, and they're so
Their exhibit.
so
It's
nervous.
beautiful. It is, and you're just looking around like, whoa, these amazing pieces, and seeing everybody and saying hello to everybody at that moment when they're holding. I
Yes,
mean, it's great.
it
It's a
is.
great feeling.
There's nothing
It's
like it,
definitely,
is there?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
really good.
Melanie, tell me something. I usually ask to wrap up the interview. I usually ask the cake artist if they could bake or create a cake for anyone, dead or alive.
Mhm.
What, I mean, who would that be and what cake would it be? So I have two questions for you actually. You do
Okay.
bake, I guess, right? You do decorate cakes or
No,
no?
I don't. I've been on many cake decorating courses, and I have to say, if I entered the competition, I definitely wouldn't win anything. I'm pretty rubbish. Yeah, I've got a
Oh
lot
my
of
god.
cake decorating books in my office, and I've been on many cake decorating courses, but I am I only did them so that I knew what you all did, so that I could understand the craft and know the terms and know
Yeah,
the tools used. I
that's
I
good.
I
Yeah.
didn't do it to, so no, I can't bake. I can't.
Okay. Okay, but I mean there has to be, and this is great because I always say you can be in the cake world and you're the proof of that. I'm
Mhm.
working on being the proof of that you can be in the cake world and not necessarily bake and sell cakes. I mean, you can do other
No,
things.
there's all different strands,
Definitely.
yeah,
Yeah,
strands to the
definitely.
bake world. I mean, you've got the
Yeah.
owners, the big companies who've been in
Yes.
the business for many, many years, and they won't be cake artists, but they'll know
But
about
they're
the tools that you use and the paste that you use, and
exactly.
they'll be experts in that field, but not
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, absolutely. So, what cake would I make? Did you say? And what?
Okay, so let me no, and let me change that since you don't bake. Let me change that too. If you could invite anyone dead or alive to the cake shows, to
Yeah.
Cake International, to do something in Cake International, either participate as a competitor or as a, I don't know, or as a demonstrator or as a teacher, who would that be?
Well, it's got to be my mum. I would
Oh,
absolutely love my mother to see the cake show and see how it is now. So that, without any hesitation, I'd love her to come,
oh,
because she would be astounded with the change of it. So, and I think
yeah.
she would just be, because when she died when she was 86. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so she died. Mum died. Gosh, my brain's going. So she died about 10 years ago, but she
Okay.
retired obviously 20 years ago. So I haven't actually worked with my mother for 20 years. So I left. My mother left our partnership, our little business that we had, and I was at that stage, just working on bits and pieces for the competition,
Yeah.
organising, the admin process for the competition at that stage 20 years ago. So she then went into a home and she had a brain aneurysm, so she was really ill. So she hasn't
Uh,
ever seen the show at this
the
stage or seen
magnitude of that of the big
me at this
show, yeah.
stage. Yeah, so I'd love her to come back and see the show.
Oh. Oh,
They're
you're
happy
gonna get me emotional now. Oh,
for me.
that's lovely. That's lovely. That's lovely.
Yes,
Well, I
well,
have to say, I believe that she must be looking at you and looking at the shows from
shouting at
wherever
me,
she is.
shouting
Definitely.
at me. "Why
Definitely.
did you do it like
Yeah.
that? Why didn't you do it a bit
Yeah.
better?" That's what she'll be doing.
Oh my God. If it would be my mother, it was like, what are you doing? Because my mother is like that. It's like, what are you doing? You shouldn't be doing that like that. You know
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Oh, that's great. That's great. Melanie, it was a joy having you here today. Thank you so much for sharing so much of your behind the scenes of Cake International and what you do. I love that you were so candid talking about. I mean, it's funny because I said, "Well, Melanie's going to give us, you know, the clue or the big piece of information of how can we organize our time." It's like, no, I can't.
I'm
No, so
really sorry.
oh my god, I just loved it. I just love it, and I really hope to meet you in person this year.
Yeah.
I have to be honest. I've seen you running around in
Oh, I
Cake
know.
International, but it's like I know you're busy, and I'm just not gonna interrupt
Oh,
because I know it must be very busy.
no, it'd be lovely to see you in person. It really
Yeah,
would. So you just go into the organiser's office and ask for me, and then we can have a
of course. This year
meet
I
up.
will give you a hug in person. Are you
Love-
going to the DMAs in
I am,
February?
yes, I am. Yes,
Oh,
I'm going
so
in
I'll
February.
see you there then.
Oh, there you go then. We'll meet there. So Emma and
Yeah.
Owen are going as well. So and
Okay.
also David is going as well. I'm sure he said that to me. He follows me
Okay.
everywhere, so I think he's doing that as well. So
You're the dynamic duo, definitely.
we're just like flickering married people in the cake world. That's what we're
Oh.
like.
Oh, I
So
love it. I love it. I love it. I would love to see you there. I'm going this year. Our community Cake for State Creative is nominated for online community.
of course it
So
is. Yeah,
I'm really it's gonna be I mean it's going to be a fun event for us,
brilliant.
definitely. Yes, yes.
Congratulations on that then, and
Thank
fingers
you.
crossed.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what I mean. Being nominated is already, and it's a cliche. We always say, "Oh, this is so much a cliche." It is, but actually, it's true. Being nominated, our
Oh,
community
absolutely.
is so young. It's only what 3 years old. It started
Yeah,
with the pandemic. That it's an honor. It's really an
it
honor
is. Oh,
to
it's
be
brilliant.
there,
Well
and we're
done.
gonna have a good time. Definitely.
Yes, well, it
Yeah.
looks lovely. The whole venue looks wonderful. So yeah, looking
Yeah.
forward.
Looking forward to see you there too, Melanie. Thank you so much for being here with us today, for taking the time to speak with me and to speak with my audience today. And I'll see you in February for sure.
Thank you, Christina. Thanks for asking me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.